You are now watching Miami Trap Stars.
Hey, here we are. All right, first and foremost, I'd like to give Call Hello Yahweh Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Of course, that's all praises to the Most High God in His only begotten Son's name, who the world ignorantly calls Jesus Christ. It's your brother, Trap Lord Ahmataza Lab. Um, I don't know. I think maybe Rob lagged out. He was already here, so I'm not going to be like him and say that, oh, he's late. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to be like that. Not necessarily lying, but not necessarily telling the truth either. You know what I'm saying? But Rob's not here right now. I think he's having some technical difficulties. He should be back here in a second. Oh, looks like he's trying to come in right now. There we go. You okay now, Rob? Okay. I guess it get address. There you go. All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, all praises.
And I am alongside the trap god.
Rab
That's
Yawasap.
right. Thank you, sir. Okay, all right. I figured that out on your own, but it's okay. And we're here again on another Monday night, bringing out the words of the Most High God in truth and sincerity to the
Real
best
quick
of our...
though, DNR. DNR.
Oh. In truth and sincerity to the best of our ability that the Most High God Yahweh has blessed us with. Thank you, sir, for noticing that. I normally would catch that, and I was in here just chilling to some reggae music, so yeah, my fault. It's all good. But shalom to everybody in the chat. Good to see you, brothers and sisters. I see a brother that I feel like I haven't seen in a minute in the chat, King Keturah. Maybe you've been there, but maybe I haven't been paying attention, but seems like I haven't seen you in a minute. But you're definitely not first because Majan Israel 2024. Majran Israel 2024 got first. Shalom, family. Good to see you as always. Who got next? Trevor Visakar got next, another one of our beloved members. All praises to the Most High. You already know, fam. Who else we got up in here? Oh, like I was saying before, somebody that I feel like I haven't seen in a minute, Brother King Keturah is in the house. You know what I'm saying? He made it in here on time, so I'm not going to mess with him about not being a member at this particular junction, but we could always fix that, I'm pretty sure. All right.
And
who
he
else we
should
got up in? Yeah, oh yeah. I mean, people that really love God, they fix those things. I'm just gonna say.
Immediately.
Right. Speaking of, our beloved sister Feed Me Righteously is in the chat. Shalom, family. Good to see you as always. What else we got up in here that actually made it in on time? Our beloved brother and member Yamar Sean made it in on time. All praises to the Most High. Shalom, King. And it looks like everybody else is late. I see Alan Cupid. Shalom, God. You're late. You're not a member, but you are a moderator. Doesn't necessarily count. Come see me after class for your push-ups. You know what I'm saying? All praises. Powerful brother right there. All right. Trap God. What do we have going on tonight?
I just woke up, literally, like 8 minutes ago.
I had a nice little nap, but it's been over an hour since I was asleep.
I was up since yesterday,
Sheesh.
like 7 a.m. all the way through today and work and stuff. It is my fault. You know what I'm saying? Last night I was working on some YouTube stuff or what have you. And the time really just got away from me.
That's where you were messaging me in the middle of the night, and I'm like, what the? It was like 3 o'clock in the morning. I was like, as long as he's okay, I'm not even going to read this. I looked at my phone. It was like a message that it seemed like everything was okay. I just put it back down. But all praise, I did watch those videos, and yeah, that's some quality stuff. I like that.
All praise to the Most High.
There's one thing I had an issue with. I can't remember what it is right now. But yeah, go ahead.
I'll it was the guy's voice.
Yeah, yes. I think in the first one, his voice in the first one, and maybe what he was saying. I think it was just his voice.
Yeah,
I was like, I
it was
could do that,
definitely
and I was like, I could do that, and it would sound better.
I ain't gonna lie to you. I wish I had a voiceover of you doing it. But it was just in the middle of the night, and I was like, damn, that'd be nice. But yeah, it can always be edited. But nonetheless, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Bashem Yahawashi. Thankfully, to my beloved wife, I was able to come home and get a literal hour, just 1 hour of rest from being awake for 36 plus hours, right? But real quick,
To our beloved brother, King Couture, that got the memo. Yahabashima Shabrakata, what the Water for your generous donation, continued support, and becoming our newest YouTube member, the Water King, as always.
and all praise to the Most High. That man just became a silver trap star. All right, he just became a silver trap star. You can be bronze, but then you could be silver. Then you could be gold, but guess what? Then you could be platinum.
Sheesh.
Right. So all praise, honor, and glory to you. How about Shemi Shot for that? Definitely big up to everybody. Big up to everybody. Before we do anything else, before we talk about anything else, let's spam the prayer hand emojis in the chat, Babu Shah. Let's spam the prayer. You know what? After all that work I did last night, I still didn't change our badges. I gotta change our badges tonight, Lord willing. But let's spam the prayer hand emojis in the chat, Babu Shah Wata Wata. Let's spam the prayer hand emojis in the chat. Baba Kashaw, Wata Wata. We are still praying for our people and praying for our land, praying for our land and praying for our people. We are praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, financial health with stability. And of course, we do so by Hashem Hamashiach Yahawashai. Let's keep the prayer hands going until we finish the list. Let's keep the prayer hands going until we finish the list. Baba Kashaw Wata Wata. All right. Again, praying for our people, praying for our land, and praying for our people, praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, and financial health with stability. And of course, we do so by Hashem Hamashiach Yahweh, starting with Zaquan Raphael, Zaquan Jabara, Zaquan Deshawn, Zaquan Brother Douglas, Zaquan Yapaja, Brother Willie, Sister Edna, Chief Sister Tanya and family, her sons Cameron and Dewan, Chief Sister Princess Erica and family, and of course, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bashimi Al-Shah, we were able to help Chief Sister Princess Erica create a GoFundMe. That way we can set a goal, set a solid foundation and give people the opportunity to sow a seed to helping Chief Sister Princess Erica and her family. All right. So if it's on your heart and the Most High God is guiding you in love and truth and sincerity to helping your family, it can be of any amount. You can use that link that I'm putting in the chat right now to help Chief Sister Princess Erica and family during their rough time by donating via GoFundMe. All right. All praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shem Shai. But let's go ahead and continue with the prayer list. Again, we have Chief Sister Princess Erica and family, her brother Tazama, her brother Eric, her son Jalen, her daughter Sister Holly. Then we have Chief Sister Teresa. We have Chief Sister Shalimar, Sister Deoni Israel, her son Jaden, her son Angel and his wife Anna, Sister Perez, Sister Althea, right? Brother Yawasap, Brother Iwad, Sister Melina, Sister Laela, Brother Joseph, Sister Katana, Brother Ahmataza Lab, Yahawanathan Ban, Tribe of Issachar, Brother Hazaz's mother, myself, Ayara, Tawash, Gamaria, Mayak Allah, Sister Tati, any and every Israelite spread to the four corners of the earth, whether you are in a congregation or not, whether you are a part of an organization or not, a camp or not, any and every Israelite spread to the four corners of the earth, man, woman, and child. All right, continuing here with Elder Priest Zabak, Chief Priest Alazar Ban Lawya, Sister Masala, Brother Hayaman, Brother Aina, Dakar, Isaiah, Raquam, Dagar, Yaquab, Nagai, Namar, and his mother Edith, Brother Thabawan and son Nathan, Zaram, Aliyah, Tazayar, Kashab, Abayar, Rakawam, Alazabad, Brother Ashaya, Sergeant Yatab, Brother Shapacha and his daughter Ariana, Brother Sharian, Ashdath, Ali Adad, Hosea Israel, Tazawar Allah, Yakal, a warrior Allah, formerly known as Tazar Paran, Brother Ali Yashai's family, Alan Cupid, Horace Cupid, Amariah, Gizmo, Kappa Yar, Majan Israel and family, Sister Mayatazak and family, Sister Nayana and family, uh, Brother Joe, Sister Kayla Duckworth, Brother Dwayne Scott, Brother Vincent, Tazar, Zayan Rakad, Jaden, Kylan, Nakwai, Brother Mayasha Allah's Ribs family, Brother Ariella, Sister Michaela, Mariah, Sister Tiara, also known as Femi Righteously in the chat, Sister Yolanda Caesar and family, Brother Ahaziah, Korabia, Kanaya Allah, Sister Clarissa, Brother Lama Allah, Brother Gazar, and his daughter Aryani, Tonio, J Dubs and family, Jonathan Monte, King Katora, Quatazab, Shashawan, Papa and family, Tazia's son Caden and daughter Sage, Brandon Green and Ayer Green, Deshaun Robertson, Hosea Israel's mother Elizabeth, Brother Jay's mother Iris, Brother Christian Navarro, Brother Yadi. And of course, these are all households and connected Israelite families by Hashem Mashiach Yahawashi. Last, certainly not least, the land of Israel from the Nile to the Euphrates, from the Euphrates to the Nile. We are praying for our people and praying for our land, and we are praying for our people. We are praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, and financial health with stability, and we do so by Hashem Hamashiach Yahawashi. Shout out to everybody spamming those prayer hand emojis in the chat. I really hope that we indeed are praying for our people and praying for our land on a daily, hourly, weekly, monthly, yearly basis. In any and every aspect that the Most High God puts on your heart. Of course, that He may bless us, keep us, shine His face upon us, and give us all peace. All right. Let me see Aman in the chat. Baba Kushaw water. Let me see Aman in the chat. Baba Kushaw the water. Right. All praises to the Most High. All right. Make sure you guys are liking and sharing the video. Let me tell you something, man. All praises to the Most High. You know what I'm saying? Been working on these messages, been making sure they get sent out. You know what I'm saying? Texting people directly to their cell phones, making asking to like, asking to share, subscribe, hit the bell. So please make sure you are doing your part. Listen, if you receive the text message, or even if you're in the Discord, all you have to do is copy the message I send you, and you can send it to other people also. Send it to other people. You know what I'm saying? Ask them to like the video. Ask them to share the video. Ask them to subscribe to the channel. You know what I'm saying? That way we can get this word out to the four corners of the earth and get the gospel out to the four corners of the earth, and therefore get our asses out of captivity by Hashem Mashiach Yahawashi. Let me see Aman in the chat again. All right. Let me see hashtag ready to go in the chat. Let me see hashtag ready to go. You ever seen SpongeBob, the nigga always talking about I'm ready? Nigga, I'm ready to go. All right. How about that? Let me see hashtag ready to go in the chat. And real quick, shout out to Chief Sister Shalom.
Of course, to our beloved Chief Sister Shalama Yahabashima Barakatah. Wata Water for your generous donation, continued support, and keeping that $10 drive alive. The Water family.
Khan, all praise to the Most High. And of course, just like any and every other live video that we do, right, we do look to raise 10 super chats, people. 10 super chats. I think you guys are finally getting the hang of it and understanding it can be as low as 99 cents. Like, just to put in perspective, Chief Sister Shalimar, she's a giver. So I know she gave the whole $10 at one go, right? She could have did that 10 times just to reach the goal, right? There's different ways in which we get through the algorithm, etc., and that is one of the ways. So if it's on your heart, share that 99 cents. Let us reach the goal and let us get the word out even further by Hashem Yahawashi. You know what I'm saying?
Hello.
And if you are indeed a member, we want to see you using those member-only emojis, the coffee emojis, the Miami Monday, the 305, the wolf, the rhino, the lion. You know what I'm saying? I'm not too much of a fan of the lion, but you can go ahead and use it if that's what the Most High God has convicted you to use. You know what I'm saying? All praises to the Most High. Make sure you guys, again, are liking and sharing the video. Liking and sharing the video. Baba Shawat the water. Da, 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 da. All right. Now, I definitely got y'all. Work is okay so far. All praise to the Most High. Shout out to brother Maja Israel, man. Always keeping that Discord chat alive. Always keeping that Discord chat alive. I'm seeing more brothers and sisters become more talkative in the chat. All praise to the Most High. If you have not joined us on Discord yet, go ahead and join us on Discord now. Become a part of the community. Become a part of the family. You know what I'm saying? Become a part of the trap. All right. All praises to the Most High. Hit that link, join the Discord, and become a part of the family. When you need something, you can drop it in there. We're going to respond by Hashem Yahawashi. And if we don't, somebody will. You know what I'm saying? You got brothers, you got sisters, you got aunties, you got grandmas. You know what I'm saying? In that chat. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High. People that look after and love their people. Okay? All praises. But of course, I need to make sure I see and know who is actively and effectively listening. So drop a 9 in the chat if you are actively and you are effectively listening. Those two things matter when it comes to listening. You have to actively and effectively listen. So drop a 9 in the chat if you are actively and effectively listening. Praise the Lord God. All praises, man. Drop that 9 if you are actively and effectively listening. Baba Shawat the water. Oh, we hopefully you didn't hear that. Right. So we have good news. Good news. So let's also get the hashtag all praise to the Most High in the chat. Let's also get that hashtag all praise to the Most High in the chat. We have good news. Right. Let me see hashtag all praise to the Most High in the chat. We have good news. You understand? We have officially hit the goal for the month of May, ladies and gentlemen. So let's get the Most High God a round of applause for that. You understand? All praise to the Most High. We have officially hit the goal for the month of May. That is with your diligence, right? Of course, through the grace, the mercy, the strength, and the power of the Most High God, putting it in your hearts to continue to sow toward the ministry, toward the continuity of the ministry, toward the growth of the ministry. You know what I'm saying? All praises, honor, and glory to you. How about Shemi Shai? Definitely big shout out to Chief Sister Melina. Big shout out to Brother Yamrashan. Big shout out to Sister Shalimar. Big shout out to Chief Sister Tanya. How could I ever forget her? You know what I'm saying? Big shout out to everybody dropping those $2, dropping those $5, dropping those $10. And when you have the ability to give more, you do so. By Shema Mashiach Yahawashi. Right? It says that when your hand is open to give, let it then also be open to receive, roughly paraphrasing, right? If your hand is only open to receive and closed when giving, it's going to be dry when it's time to reap. You understand? And we encourage brothers and sisters to reap in gardens in which they've sown in. Reap in gardens in which they've sown in. That's your garden you've planted, you've helped cultivate, and we appreciate. Right, so all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shemi Yahawashi. We officially have the ability to start working on June, even though this is the last day of June. We're happy that we are moving step by step in the right direction by Shema Mashiach Yahawashi. So we reset the goal. You know what I'm saying? We reset the goal right back at 75 people for $25 and $25 from 75 people. This is for the month of June now, getting us closer and closer back on track by Shema Mashiach Yahawashi. All right. Lord willing, we can get it. Indeed, Chief Sister Melina. Indeed, Chief Sister Melina. Guess what? We're going to be able to do it together. Let me see another hashtag in the chat. Let me see hashtag together in the chat, man. Let me see hashtag together in the chat. Listen, man, we're going to start so many damn hashtags. That's all we're going to, that's how we're going to communicate is hashtag.
You know, I'm sure that's already from Elden Ring, but okay.
Just because we know what that is. I would be very surprised if more than 20 people in this chat know what that is.
There's only 18 people.
For now. If you are watching this, by the way, shout out to everybody that watches on the replay. A couple people have dropped some super thanks, so we definitely want to say the water to you as well. Listening on the replay. That's amazing when someone is watching on the replay and they also are actively and effectively listening. Bashar Mashiach Yahushai.
Yeah, and don't forget to leave something in the comment section after the class. And here, for everybody that understands what I meant by the joke behind together and Elden Ring, just put Elden Ring as a comment in the chat. You know what I'm saying? When the video is over.
0 comments in the chat. The only person going to comment probably is your daughter.
She probably doesn't know. She's not one of the people that I think would know. I think maybe
She
Majan
doesn't even
Israel
watch
might
gameplay.
know. Huh?
You don't think she watches gameplay either?
Look, I saw her getting her butt whooped in Elden Ring, and she kind of went away from that. She beat other things that I consider harder than Elden Ring, so I don't even know. But she actually built a character that was the most difficult character to use in the game.
Oh wow!
So yeah, when I found that, I was like, I understand why she was getting her butt whooped.
You know what we have to do though, because I don't believe we did it yet. Maybe she wasn't in here when you were giving the shout outs, but we have to spam the wolf emojis in the chat for Chief Sister Melina putting in that hard work over there at Hebrew Kids TV. Spam them wolf emojis in the chat, Baba Kusha Wata Wata. Spam the wolf emojis in the chat, Baba Kusha Wata Wata for Chief Sister Melina. Put in that hard work over there at Hebrew Kids TV. Let's go ahead and get a quick snip.
My royalty, my God, he spoiled me, brought it into my seat. Into my seat. This is the history of the father of God's chosen people, Abraham. Abraham was born Abram, and he had a wife named Sarai. Sarai was barren and had no children. God came to Abram and said, I will make you a great nation. I will bless you, and your name shall be great, and you shall be a blessing. I will bless those that bless you, and curse those that curse you. The Most High made Abram rich. God made the Egyptian Pharaoh to bless him with sheep, oxes, donkeys, servants, camels, gold, and silver. And it came to pass, when Abram was in the land of Canaan, God said, land shall be your seed forever. I will make your seed as the dust of the earth. Abram asked God, what shall you give me, seeing I have no children? I have no heir. Then God said, look at the stars and try to number them. That shall be as your seed. Abram believed in the Lord and counted it his righteousness. Then Abram said, how do I know I'll inherit it? So God commanded him to bring a 3-year-old she-cow, a 3-year-old she-goat, a 3-year-old ram, turtle dove, and young pigeon. So Abram offered the animals, then fell into a deep sleep. In his dreams, he was
old school Nintendo.
His servants to another nation.
Nintendo was great back in the days. I just
400
hate them
years.
today.
And God will judge
Goddamn
that
devil.
nation after they will come out.
I see
with
Nintendo
many
like
riches.
Apple.
The Lord made a covenant with
That was
Abram, saying,
blasphemous.
your seed shall I give this land, from the river of Egypt to the great river, the river Euphrates.
Uh-oh.
Now Sarai couldn't have any children because she was barren, but she had a handmaid named Hagar.
Like she in a kimono.
No more spoilers. No more spoilers. All praise, honor, glory. How about
That's
you?
great.
Make sure you go subscribe, like, share, comment, super chat for Hebrew Kids TV. Shout out to Chief Sister Melina putting in that hard work over there with them graphics, with the storylines, etc. I was just telling, on Sunday, I took my rib to get her nails done, and there was a church right by where she got her nails done. And for me, there was something on the side like that they were advertising that I have never saw advertised personally, right? They were advertising the fact that they did biblical study, but they also helped out with finances. And I can't remember the other things that they were offering as far as services, right? For me, it was rare. Maybe I have seen it before, but it was definitely rare as far as what churches advertise and extend as a service, other than just, you know, sermon, etc. So because we were waiting for the person to come, and, you know, show up to do my wife's nails, etc., I went inside the church. Yes, I went inside a Christian church, guys. I am willing to go inside of Christian churches to network. And of course, if you guys have any questions, please feel free to ask your questions. It could be about anything,
Powerful question there.
everything. I'm sure this is a question for Ahmataza because I have no clue what he's talking about.
Yes, I've seen many young Asian women pumping gas. It's quite lucrative. A young Asian woman pumping gas doesn't even have to be young. 50-year-old Asian women look like they're arguably 15. But yeah, it's the equivalent to American women doing OF. Like, I don't know what it is. You get paid big time for pumping gas as an Asian woman. Don't ask me how I know these things. I don't even know why that question was asked, but I just happen to know the answer.
I just happen to know the answer. Well, all right. Well, yeah, man. All praise to the Most High. When I went inside the Christian church, they were doing a reenactment of Noah's Ark.
Christ.
You know? Huh? Well, no, it was for the children though.
Yeah.
The children were doing a reenactment of Noah's Ark.
Yeah.
And I saw their decorations. They had the rainbow with the rain, etc. So I thought, you know, especially considering Hebrew Kids TV, we already have a narration of certain stories that and they created the arts and crafts themselves. It wasn't something that they had to buy really. And, you know, it created a unity between the parents, the sisters, the children, and everybody was involved. So it's stuff like that, you know, could be ideas to incorporate back into what we do with our children. If you're at home on a Shabbat day or etc., you know what I'm saying? If you're creating arts and crafts to then do a reenactment of something in the Bible, that is keeping your children centered around the Most High and what He's done for our people continuously throughout time. You know what I mean? So just an idea that I got from them.
That's a good idea, and I know where we can get plenty of live animals to actually do it up in the school, right?
Well, they didn't.
And it can turn into a little bit of a petting zoo while they're here.
They didn't use live animals.
But we're gonna do better.
They had the animal mask on the children. It was pretty cool. No. It was pretty cool, man. All praise.
We're gonna have real animals.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lion in the school.
Right.
Yeah, and a tiger.
And the kids are gonna have to tame them, keep them in order. See how that works out for together.
You see? But Khan, all praise to the Most High. So we got Lucas Brazil, right? 144. Shalom. If shaving your beard is inherently a sin, why does God command people to shave their beard? For example, He tells people with leprosy to shave off all their beard hair in Leviticus chapter 14, verse 9. This is a great question, right? And very similarly to a question that was asked in our Discord chat, being that we are, of course, a bit of a newer organization, etc. You know what I'm saying? There may be things that we review and things that we have to go back over or what have you. But ultimately, right? Why would God tell them to do things in those cases? When you have leprosy, shaving is a part of the cleansing process.
Right.
You understand? Just like when you are when you take a Nazarite vow, at the end of the vow, you have to then shave your head, right? That being a part of that law, you're keeping that, right? It's a part of the cleansing process, right? That's not you taking a razor blade and then going to shave off your head and your beard in the practice and custom of Egyptians, Canaanites, and disobedience to the Lord. It's a part of a cleaning process.
Mm-hmm. And it's actually being obedient. If God tells you that you have to do that at a certain time, then you got to do that. And if you don't do it, then you're sinning.
God, all praise to the Most High. And yes, please leave the answering of questions to Ahmataza, myself, Babu Shawat the Water, just for, a full edification through the Holy Spirit. Brother Luca Brazil, if please put a 1 if for yes and a 2 for no. Do you understand our response and accept and receive through the Spirit our response? 1 yes, 2 no. Brother Luca Brazil.
Marjan Israel asks, I'm in Brooklyn. Think Noah had pit bulls? That's a question that you could kind of answer yes and no to, because did that the seed line of the pit bulls exist at that time? Yes. But were they called pit bulls then, or did they look like pit bulls then? No, not at all. They were actually bred to look and perform the way that they do today. So their genetic material, their forefather, existed, but them as a specific breed, I would not say that they existed. But of course, wild dogs and domesticated dogs did exist at that time.
Khan. Continuing. Oh Lord, he followed from the box class.
Oh no.
Luca Brazil.
Whatever the box said, that's the truth. You just I don't even care. Whatever he said, that's the truth, man.
Khan, but I have more questions on that. Then wouldn't that mean shaving your beard isn't inherently a sin? Because we know the law of God is perfect and he is not given man license to sin. I'm gonna start with the latter end of that response. When we read in Sirach that God gives no man license to sin, when you read the chapter, what it's saying is God has not went and told anybody, hey, go commit this sin. He doesn't come up to individuals or encourage individuals, hey, go do the opposite of what I commanded, right? So now when we read in the Torah something that may, in our perspective, seem as if it contradicts another law, right? For example, let's get, is it Leviticus 19?
Sounds about right. It's a lot of law right there.
Leviticus 19 and 27. Go ahead.
The Bach didn't answer the question and got defensive. Well, that's the right answer. Just leave it right there. It's the book of Leviticus, chapter 19 and verse 27. Ye shall not round the corners of your heads, neither shalt thou mar the corners of thy beard.
Right. So looking into the Hebrew, etc., it says to destroy. I did see recently another perspective from Brother Ariella, how he went into the antiquity of Canaanites and how it actually had to do with the elongating of your head and your skull and fixing the skeletal makeup of your head and whatnot. So if you take that approach, then it's not necessarily having to do with lineups or shaving particularly. However, even if we continue with the shaving perspective, right? Let's read verse 28.
God. Verse 28. Ye shall not make any cuttings in your flesh for the dead, nor print any marks upon you. I am the Lord.
These are sundry laws, right? And they go back to other specific things that the Most High God has already commanded us not to do. Ultimately, these are practices of Canaanite and Egyptian nations, right? So that is ultimately what the Most High God is emphasizing and encouraging us not to do, is keep practice and customs that do not belong to us, right? So when we see in another place of Torah, i.e., the Nazirite vow, and then you also mentioned the leprosy, right? That's not a contradiction, because again, the purpose of you doing it has to do with the cleansing process the Most High God wants you to take, right? You using the verbiage of inherently a sin, I would say in this case, it's behind the intent, right? Because if you're doing it for God's cleansing process, you're not breaking Leviticus 19:27. If you're doing it because of a haircut or because of a custom and practice, right? Or assimilation into a culture, right? That is breaking God's law. You understand? Right? So please, 1 yes, 2 no. Is everyone able to receive what is being said here? 1 yes, 2 no. Is everyone able to receive what has been said here? Leviticus chapter 19, verse 26 to 28. You know what? If you don't mind, please, because it's very difficult for me to continue, let's have a in real life conversation.
No, that'll work.
Let's have a in real life conversation. How about that? And this is still on topic, back to the basics. Let's see hashtag back to the basics in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Because we in the Torah, so how more basic can it get, Ba'ashem Yahawashi? You understand? Right? Praise the Lord. Shout out to everybody that's joining us. Shout out to everybody that's joining us, man. Hit that like button when you get in here. Hit that like button when you get in here. We at 26 likes right now. I'd like to be at 30 if that's okay with you. Right? I'd like to be at 30 if that's okay with you. Brother Luca, if you can please click the link so you can join the live stream. That way we can talk in real time. That'd be a lot more helpful and beneficial. I peeped Shalimar changed her name. Yasha Allah Princess. Look at that. Good to see you, Khan.
I see a lot of people's names have been changed in the chat. I don't know if that's something going on with YouTube or
Khan.
Kahan, you got okay.
There we go. Ooh, you know what I don't have?
What up?
Okay, it's not that we want smoke, but this is the only overlay I have. So
Okay.
sorry, guys. This is the only overlay I have. I'm not saying that this is a smoke session, but that's the only overlay I have right now. Kahan, what is you? Would you prefer we call you Kahan or Luca, or it doesn't matter? Is this even Luca, or is it somebody else?
Nah, it's me, Shalom.
Shalom, sir.
All right. You can call me Kahan.
I'm sorry.
You can call me Kahan. Thank you.
Okay. So yeah. So please proceed with your line of questioning.
Gideon's Bible, I'm pretty sure, is NIV, right?
They have I think that's the publisher name. That's the
yes, sir. We can hear you.
Yes, sir. No, so I'm just asking you, right? The topic of shaving your beard, right? No, y'all might be thinking this because I don't have a beard, but I can't even grow a beard regardless. So that's off topic though. But I'm asking the question. The question is, if shaving your beard is inherently a sin, right? Why would God command people to shave their beard, right? Like in Leviticus 14:9, or the Nazarites, or when he told Samson, I think Samson to shave his head or whatever. And just my question is, if that is inherently a sin, why would we be commanded to do so? Because we don't see any other Israelites being commanded to sin, right? And we understand that, like I said, God has given no man license to sin. That's just my questioning here.
Okay. So go ahead.
Yeah. Just using the word inherently. I may not necessarily use that word when it comes to that particular commandment from the Lord, and also when it comes to other commandments.
I agree.
Yeah, from the Lord. So I would not say that it's necessarily inherently a sin. What I will say is always inherently a sin is if the Most High God commands you to do something and you don't do it, then that is inherently a sin. Doesn't matter what it is. So even if he says to do X, Y, and Z, at this point in time, and then he says, but in this situation, I need you to do A, B, and C. No, whatever is going on with whether it's the X, Y, and Z situation, you have to do it at that time when it's applicable, and then when it's A, B, and C, you have to do it at that time when it's applicable. It's kind of like with us having a standing temple. We're not sacrificing right now. Why? Because we don't have a standing temple. Not sacrificing, is that inherently a sin? Not necessarily. Not if you don't have a standing temple. Then not sacrificing is actually what you're supposed to do. Because if you did sacrifice him without a temple, now you're sinning. So you can't sacrifice right now because you would be sinning.
No,
And
yeah,
mm-hmm.
it's lucky. No, yeah, I agree with that line of thinking. Yeah, so that's why I'm saying, like, shaving your beard. That's why I'm saying shaving your beard is not inherently a sin. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So then my question is, if it's not inherently a sin, right? We understand the law of the Lord is perfect. My point to you would be, when would it not be a sin then? We see some examples, but the only examples that I see of shaving your beard being a sin is if you do it for the dead. Is just my understanding of that right now.
Oh, where do you see Leviticus 19 and 27 is separate from verse 28? Those are two separate laws.
Right, but if you read 26, 27, 28, it seems to me like it's all the same subject, because you got to be mindful the Hebrew didn't have periods, commas, or verses, right? So to me, that reads fluently, right? Another example is if you go to Leviticus 21 and 5, I see brothers use that example as saying you can't shave your beard at all, right? But the thing is, that context is also talking about the sons of Aaron defiling themselves for the dead.
Mm-hmm. Right. So the thing is, Leviticus 19, those are sundry laws, right?
Okay.
So separating them, right? Because they are separate laws. The intent behind them is the same. So they do share a context, but they are separate customs that we were told not to keep. So let's go back to Leviticus 19.
Okay. Yeah, because it has several laws that have nothing to do with witchcraft too. So
because Leviticus 19 is just a list. That's why in modern, right, if you not saying that the titles really matter or anything like that, in certain Bibles it says sundry laws because of how many, right here, right, starting at verse 9, because it's a variety, because we see verse 9, it's talking about reaping and harvesting, right? That has zero to do with verse 11 where it says you shall not steal. Then it goes to 13, right? Talking about defrauding your neighbor. Verse 15, you shall do no unrighteousness in judgment. So we can see that has to do with court proceedings, and tale bearing has to do with civility, or like the civil people, not what's the modern term for tale bearing?
Gossiping.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes, but keep going down for me, because
right,
you do see several verses on the same subject matter.
Right.
So like right here, for example.
I agree. Again, I agree. So the point is, these are sundry laws, right? And the ones that are meant to be together are together. So verse 26, 27, 28, they are grouped together. Why? Because they share a context of the fact that these are customs and practices that came from Canaanites, Egyptians, or heathens, and we are told not to do these things. So when it says you shall not eat anything with the blood, neither shall you use enchantment nor observe times, those are three different things.
Yeah.
One is don't eat anything with the blood. The other is neither shall you use enchantment and nor observe times, because enchantment and observe times, although they both have to do with witchcraft, they're two different things having to do with witchcraft. One is not the same as the other.
No, I understand that, but the point is, it's still witchcraft.
Hold on. Again, they share subject. I agree.
Yes, it's idolatry. Yes.
Yeah, they share subject, they share context, but they are separate laws. So when you read verse 27, the only connection it has with verse 28 is the fact that it's a heathen practice we're being told not to keep. That's the only thing they would share with each other. However, when you get to verse 21, chapter 21 and verse 5, like you very well mentioned, this particularly has to do with the sons of Aaron. I'm not a son of Aaron. Ahmataza is not a son of Aaron. I don't know your lineage, right? But I would argue you're most likely not a son of Aaron either. So could we say that this may not apply to us pertaining who it was said to. Yes, Ephraim has nothing to do with the sons of Aaron, right? They were given a particular set of laws themselves to even be more separated out of the children of Israel, right? So you were absolutely right about that. When you get to Leviticus 19, though, in verse 27, that is a law that stands on its own, and it simply shares the subject and the context of verse 26 and verse 28.
Matt, may I interject?
Yes, I'm now finished.
Yes, sir. So, if you can you go to Leviticus, can you go to verse 27 for me, please? So, because as Israelites, we usually teach that because it says mar the corners of your beard, you can't shave your entire beard, right? And I'm following your line of understanding that you just said, saying that that's a different subject than verse 28, right?
Mm-hmm.
But my thing is, it also says, "You shall not round the corners of your head." So, by that logic, would it also be a sin for brethren to shave their head, the top of their head, bald?
Yes, balding your head. That's there's actually another law in the Torah that says, if it's natural balding, then it's fine. But if you cause yourself to be balded, roughly paraphrasing, let me see.
Yes, but the context of that verse is talking about leprosy and finding out if someone has leprosy. So, does he have leprosy? Well, no, because
which goes to the point that Ahmataza was making is circumstantially, right? We see different things being told. Excuse me.
Well, no, I was saying you just took that verse out of context. It's not talking about shaving your head bald. It's talking about figuring out whether or not someone has leprosy.
I understand that. I was naming another circumstance having to do with balding.
Yes, but balding is different than shaving your head.
Yes. Okay. We understand. It would be a sin to purposely to try to shave your head bald just to look like an Egyptian and to have that bald look. That's a sin.
Okay, so you would say it is a sin for brothers to shave their head bald?
Yes.
Connecting Leviticus 19 and 27 with Leviticus 18 and 3, where we're told not to follow after the ways of Canaan and Egypt. Notice that they run together. Leviticus 18 runs together, I would say, arguably all the way through to 20, because it continues different.
That's Salaki real quick. That's why I said 27, 26, 27, 28 are all on the same subject of witchcraft, because in the context, they would shave their heads for the dead and shave their beards to honor the dead too. And like I said earlier, the Hebrew had no verses or periods or commas, so really all of that would make sense to read cohesively.
Okay, and if you want to believe that, either way, we're not supposed to be doing that, right?
Doing what? Sorry.
We're not supposed to be shaving our heads or shaving off our beards.
I would say for the dead, that's what it seems like to me.
Yeah,
like I said, I mean, if there was no periods then, so it would be if I were to, my mom or dad would shave my head for her, or my beard for her, I would say
trying to really dig deep into the details and try to go into the mind of the Most High God Yahweh and try to figure out, hey, why exactly does he not want us to do this? I mean, we could go down that route without evidence. I don't see it as very profitable. The most profitable thing about this whole conversation is to know that it is a sin to do those things and that we should not be doing them.
Right. So then once again, going back to my original point, you said that because that it's okay to do something that the Most High commands you to, regardless if it's a sin or not. Where in the Bible does
it would not be a sin.
That's
right. So, brothers would die to not eat pork, but it's okay to shave your beard under certain circumstances. Can you explain that? Or articulate how that works? Spiritually speaking?
At no point in time did God ever say, hey, I command you under these circumstances to eat pork. Like,
God has given no man license to sin.
Yeah, like you can look.
So shaving is inherently a sin.
I already said I don't agree that shaving is inherently a sin, and not all commandments, in the Bible that you see would be considered inherently a sin. I would not say that, because different things are supposed to be done under different circumstances in certain situations. Now, we could play this law by law and get an understanding, but I don't think that's necessary. This is clear and to the point. You're not supposed to be shaving your head or your beard unless God tells you to, period. I'm not going to eat pork or anything else God told me don't eat unless he tells me to eat it. But
he wouldn't tell you to eat it.
Look, What I will say is there's no evidence of him ever saying to eat things that are unclean. I don't see any evidence of that. So I'm going to do what is laid out there, what God says to do. Now you could look in the Quran, and the Quran will tell you, hey, in an emergency situation, if there's nothing there to eat and there's only a pig there, then to eat the pig. That's not what the Bible says. That's not what our God says.
I mean, I agree with that. Yeah, but once again, I mean, I'm trying to understand how we can really say that. So you're saying that shaving your beard is not inherently a sin, right? And I'm saying
what is inherently a sin is not doing what God told you to do. If God
sorry,
told you,
you buffered out on my screen. I didn't hear what you said right there.
I said what I consider inherently a sin is going against what God told you to do. So if God tells you to do XYZ under this situation, then you need to do XYZ under this situation. If there's another situation and he says to do ABC under this situation, then you need to do ABC under that situation. And if you don't listen in either case, now you're sinning.
Yeah, but the example you gave for that earlier was a false equivalency because sacrifice isn't like a natural thing. Sacrifice is not something you can't do, but something you can do.
Luca, actually, it was not a false equivalency, and I'm going to show you how it was.
Exactly.
Tell me, please.
Because early there was two examples were mentioned. He mentioned the sacrifice, and you mentioned eating pork. We don't see anywhere where that's ever okay. So I
agree. Yeah.
That's an analogy that was not equitable at all.
Right.
However, the sacrifice analogy was equitable because there's literally circumstances where we're told to sacrifice, and it has to be every single day. Then there's others. Then there's literally.
You said every single what?
Every single day.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. And then there's another place in the Torah that says no, don't sacrifice at all if you're not in the place where God told you to be. So if I'm
that's not the same thing though.
If I'm not in the place where God told me to be to sacrifice, that means now I can't sacrifice. That's if you look at it like that, that means okay, am I breaking?
But you left that out on the first part of the subject matter. You should have started off by saying,
"Look, I'm gonna be.
It's okay. Honest. It's okay to make sacrifices within the temple."
One more time. If you cut me off one more time, we will end this conversation very respectfully.
You've gone on several tangents, but go ahead. Sorry.
You just mentioned the fact that the analogy he made was unequitable. I'm responding.
Yes, and I'm trying to say that you misworded it because you should have said that. Hey, you have to make a sacrifice every day in the temple, but when the temple's not there, you can't sacrifice. That's not the same thing.
Watch this. Praise the Lord, Luca. You got it. Go ahead, teach us.
Okay, I mean, it's childish. I just made a point. Make a point back.
You just told me what I did was wrong. You just told me I was wrong in how I wanted to respond. So you got it, brother. Go ahead. You got the main stage. There you go.
Yeah, I just said your phone was wrong, but go ahead, be childish. Come on. You want to act like a little kid and throw a pot? Come on, go ahead.
No.
Keep pouting, bro. Come on.
I don't have time.
I want to have a discourse, but keep pouting. Come on.
A discourse is not cutting people off in the midst of their speech, sir.
Yes, I mean, it's hard to make a point when you just keep rambling. So that's why I wanted to say real quick. I want to interject.
You feel that we're rambling? Then feel free to go somewhere else for your questions.
Okay.
Okay.
You done pouting?
Sir, I was never pouting.
I was pouting, bro. Come on.
Okay. Are you done, sir?
I mean, I'm done. Shit, I'm done.
Okay, fantastic. Are you going to let me get back to my rambling?
Go ahead. I mean, I'm just go ahead.
All right, fantastic. So again, I'm going to restart for clarity. There was two analogies made. One had to do with something with pork where we're never told to ever eat it ever. Another analogy had to do with the temple and sacrificing. There's laws in the Torah where we're told to sacrifice every day. There's other laws where we're told if we're not in the place that we cannot sacrifice. So are we going to break one law to keep another? That is the topic at hand. You
answer the question.
No, I don't think Rob's finished with this point. So
that's why I asked, brother.
No problem.
I mean, come off the
You asked because it's based upon the shaving. In one aspect, God is basically saying it's okay, and in another aspect, it's not okay. That's why that analogy would be more equitable. When we see Leviticus 19, right? I'm going to leave out Leviticus 21 and 5 because none of us are sons of Aaron. So that's not an argument. Leviticus 19, 26 through 28 is tied to Leviticus 18 and 3, practices and customs of Egyptians and Canaanites. If your intent is not behind that, right? Like you said with the dead, etc., and you feel no conviction of just simply shaving or whatever, at the end of the day, that is going to be on you. Do we think that I should just go and start shaving, etc.? No, because just a simple custom of it, they didn't always just do it for the dead. They literally balded themselves all the time and their entire body. And it wasn't always for the dead. It was literally a custom they had, whether it was for the dead or not. So that's why we would say not to do it. Furthermore, there's Canaanite practices where that law would actually have to do with the disfiguring of your skull. You understand? Going into their culture. So you have the Egyptian culture, you have Canaanite culture, where that law would stand in two different ways, technically. So when you go to the Nazirite vow, or you brought up the what's the skin disease?
Leprosy.
You brought up leprosy, right? Those have nothing to do with keeping the customs and practices of Canaanites. That's why in those circumstances, shaving your head would not be considered breaking Leviticus 19. The same way when we're told to sacrifice every day, but if we're not in the right place, we're not breaking those other laws because we're keeping it under the circumstance that we're not in the right place. I am now complete with my rambling, and thank you, sir, for allowing me.
Appreciate that. Yeah, but
I'll
be quick. I'll be quick.
It's not for you. I want to make sure that everybody in the chat, though, is paying attention, because just as you are asking questions, they may have and share the same questions. So please put a 1 for yes and a 2 for no. Is everyone having the ability to follow along and receive what is being said? Go ahead, Brother Luca.
Con. So I wanted to say that that's not an equitable comparison, because you're saying that because they can't make God tells them to make sacrifices here, but they can't make here because they don't have the temple. It's equitable, but the truth is they can only make sacrifices in the first place with the temple, and they can't make it again without the temple. That's not a contradiction in any way. They can do it with the temple, and they can't do it without the temple.
The same way you can shave in one aspect and not shave in the other.
I agree with that, but that's my second point. You just said that if you shave without doing it with the intention of following a Canaanite or pagan custom, that it wouldn't be a sin. And I mean, that's pretty much my point.
That's not what I said. I said,
okay, what'd you say? Because you said a lot,
so it's kind of hard. I'll clarify. I said, if you don't see it as a problem, that's on you. Verbatim, that's what I said.
I mean, that's your yay be nay, your nay be nay, brother.
I then expounded to demonstrate that when Egyptians balded themselves, it was not always for the dead. So regardless, I will not bald myself in any way, shape, or form, because it is looked at and is an Egyptian practice and custom. They did not always do it for the dead, so I'm not going to do it at all.
Okay, so can we go to Jeremiah 41 real quick, please? And I just want to see what y'all's understanding of this is. That's why we're just kind of talking in circles right there. There's no point in doing that.
So are you saying that this is a completely different topic?
No, it's the same topic. It's about beard, and I just want to get your understanding on that, brother.
Okay. You said is it the entire chapter? I doubt that you're going to have us read that.
No, sir. Verse 5.
Verse 5.
Fine. So, book of Jeremiah.
Hold on. Let me put it on the screen. That's my bad.
Yes, sir.
Lord Jesus Christ. Excuse me. All right, go ahead.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 41 and verse 5. That there came certain from Shechem, from Shiloh, and from Samaria, even 80 men, having their beards shaven, and their clothes rent, and having cut themselves with offerings and incense in their hand, to bring them to the house of the Lord.
So my question is, were those men Israelites?
Reading verse 5, I wouldn't be able to answer that directly. It has no inclination of their tribe, who they are, It says that they came from. It says that there came certain from Shechem, Shiloh, and from Samaria. So depending upon, the geographical locale, one could assume that yes, they're Israelites. Being that they're doing wickedness, I ain't gonna lie to you, I would actually probably Israelites. Israelites do a lot of wicked stuff. So
I have the precept for them.
I guess based on the question, we're gonna have to read from verse 1 just to see, because I'm not Jeremiah 41 ain't something I'm just reading all the time, so I definitely don't even know what's going on here in Jeremiah 41. It says the title of it is Gedaliah is murdered. So can we read from verse 1 real quick just to see just a little bit of what's going on?
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 41 and verse 1.
Sorry, my bad. My AirPods were tripping. I did not hear anything what y'all said.
Okay, no, that's fully understandable. So what I was saying was, Jeremiah 41 is not something that I'm just super aware of or that I'm reading all the time. You understand? So I'm just going to verse 1 real fast to see if it can give us a little bit of a backstory of what's going on. Just looking at the title, I understand that it seems like he's reloading. Let me give him an opportunity to fully reload here. Yeah, there's a lot of information missing.
Read verses 1 through 5 for the context, and then also Nehemiah 8 verse 2, and then verse 13 tells you those men were Israelites.
Nehemiah 8.
Yes, sir. Context.
Nehemiah and Jeremiah, were they around at the same time? I don't know.
No, sir.
They're contemporaries?
I don't think they're contemporaries.
Yes, let me get the verses. But yeah, if you go to read Jeremiah 41 verses 1 through 5, it gives you the whole context. They were meeting up because it was the 7th month, whatnot. Nehemiah. But my question for Jeremiah is, why would they have their beard shaven if it was a sin?
What they're doing. Hold on. Let me. What am I going to do?
I'm not 100% sure what they're doing here or why they're doing it.
Well, even just for verse 5, it says that having their beard shaven and their clothes rent, having cut themselves. So they're first of all, they're in the state of mourning.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's absolutely very clear that they're doing this because of a state in which they're in mourning. Now it says that they cut themselves also, right? We see a lot of prophets like Eli, Samuel. You know what I'm saying? I guess in modern times they would be looked at like they're going crazy, but when bad stuff is happening, it says that they tear their clothes off. They, you know what I'm saying, and then they start mourning in a lot of different ways. So just reading that by itself, it looks like this is a very sad time. And then looking at the title, we see Gedaliah is murdered. So let's just read from verse 1 and see if we can get a little bit of a background here.
It's the book of Jeremiah, chapter 41 and verse 1. Now it came to pass in the 7th month that Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, the son of Elishama, of the seed royal, and the princes of the king, even 10 men with him, came unto Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, to Mizpah, and there they did eat bread together in Mizpah. Then arose Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and the 10 men that were with him, and smote Gedaliah.
So Ishmael and his homies murk Gedaliah. Right? Go ahead.
Then arose Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, and the 10 men that were with him, and smote Gedaliah, the son of Ahikam, the son of Shaphan, with the sword, and slew him, whom the king of Babylon had made governor over the land. Ishmael also slew all the Jews that were with him, even with Gedaliah, at Mizpah, and the Chaldeans that were found there, and the men of war. And it came to pass the second day after he had slain Gedaliah, and no man knew it.
No man knew it, right?
That there came certain from Shechem, from Shiloh, and from Samaria, even 80 men, having their beards shaven and their clothes rent. and having cut themselves with offerings and incense in their hand, to bring them to the house of the Lord.
Keep going.
And Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, went forth from Mizpah to meet them, weeping all along as he went. And it came to pass, as he met them, he said unto them, Come to Gedaliah, the son of Ahiakim. And it was so, when they came into the midst of the city, that Ishmael, the son of Nethaniah, slew them and cast them into the midst of the pit.
This man's murking everybody.
Right, he's going off. I'm starting to remember this now. He and the men that were with him. But 10 men were found among them that said unto Ishmael, Slay us not, for we have treasures in the field of wheat and of barley and of oil and of honey. So he forbade and slew them not among their brethren. Now the pit wherein Ishmael had cast all the dead bodies of the men whom he had slain because of Gedaliah, was it which Asa the king had made for fear of Baasha, king of Israel. And Ishmael the son of Nethaniah filled it with them that were slain.
Right, so it seems like this guy Ishmael is just going on a whole damn tirade, murking people, starting with Gedaliah, I guess, and his followers. Right, so you're asking, why were their heads shaven, their clothes, mostly why were their heads shaven?
Or the beard shaven.
Their beard shaven, yeah. Understanding what just happened with Gedaliah, right? It says that there came men certain from Shechem. It seems as if they're in a very mourning state. They're in Babylon. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I would say as to why they did it. You said you got Nehemiah 8:2.
Yeah, it was to show that this was just like a yearly 7th-month link up. Because if you read Jeremiah 41:4, it says, "And no man knew it." So my question is, and then in verse 5, I mean, are you saying that they went there because they were because they were mourning, or they just went there like that because they went there like that, and it just so happened that Ishmael killed them at the time that they went there?
As far as who or what they were mourning, I don't know, but they're definitely in a state of mourning. When it says that someone is renting their clothes, that is a demonstration and a description of mournful behavior.
Do me a favor, can you go into Hebrew real quick? Because I can't go on my phone. I don't want this to load out. I just want to see what rent means. I mean, these are genuine questions I have. I'm not trying to come on here with like an argue or nothing. This is genuine questions I have.
The word rent means to tear. It's another form of, or another phrase for sackcloth. So right here, Strong's H7167, Korah, it's to tear, rend, tear in pieces, rend asunder, to make wide or large, rend open. It has to do with tearing the clothes.
Okay.
So Nehemiah 8:2, you said, tells us that those people were Israelites.
No, it tells us it was just like the I'm saying this means I'm understanding that this is just like a 7th-month link up that they were doing. So 8:2 tells you they linked in the 7th month, and then verse 13 tells you it was Israelites. But I just wanted to ask you about that.
Nehemiah 8 has zero correlation to Jeremiah 41. The time frame is completely different.
Okay,
Nehemiah is in Persia, and Jeremiah 41 is happening during the time of Babylon.
So the brothers didn't link in the 7th month in Jeremiah either?
Those have zero to do with each other. Whatever is happening in Jeremiah 41, all I'm saying has zero to do with what's happening in Nehemiah 8.
Okay, that's fine.
Because they both say 7th month, that does not create correlation in any way, shape, or form. Because that means that you can go in the Bible every time it says 7th month and then tie it to that, and I can assure you the timeline would be real crazy.
Okay. So my question is, I mean, why did these brothers have their beard shaven?
I believe I did respond and answer that, but I'll say it again.
I don't know if I heard you.
They were in a state of mourning for sure, especially when you see the context of them renting their clothes and cutting themselves. That was definitely clearly a state of mourning.
Okay, that's fine. Okay, I wanted to ask y'all about that, so that makes sense. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have for y'all. I mean, it was Leviticus, that leprosy, was beard and cutting your shaving your beard inherently a sin or not? And I feel like y'all still, I mean, y'all still didn't kind of address the false equivalency y'all use with the shaving your beard and sacrifice, because the Most High God never said you could just sacrifice outside without the temple.
That's fair, brother. I mean, you didn't get it. Others.
Oh, I got it. I understood it, but it
Others
was
did
still a false
understand.
equivalency, brother.
Oh, okay. If you say so.
All right. Well, thanks for the knowledge, man.
All praise to the Most High. Pleasure to meet you, brother Luca.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Well, speak the truth. What are you talking about? I think he was a reasonable brother, Definitely dealt with a lot worse.
Salakia.
Mm-hmm.
What did you just say?
No, I was just laughing at speak the truth. I don't know what he means by crash out.
Oh, I think he was talking about Ishmael and them. Ishmael just going around, just everybody was just done. That was crazy. I ain't gonna lie.
Oh, it's
yeah. All praise to the Most High. Well, that was great. I appreciated that. Right. Let me see who's actively and effectively listening. Drop that 9 in the chat, man. Who's actively and effectively listening? Drop that 9 in the chat. Shout out to everybody that's joining us. Hit that like button, man. Hit that like button. We are now at 33 likes. I sent a Zell from the chat and I wouldn't let me do the goal. Which phone is it? Shout out to Chief Sister Tanya Baba Shah.
Of course, our beloved Chief Sister Tanya, Yahawanathan Ban for your generous donation and continued support, keeping that 305 drive alive. I'm guessing at least 2 times, and you already know we love you, Mom. The water.
All praise, honor, glory, how about Shemi Shai, man. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, share the video, hit that like button. There we go. We had 35 likes, man. Now we got to get to 40. Wow. Once we hit one milestone, we got to hit another. You understand? So all praise to the Most High. And again, we did reach that goal for May. So now we are restarting the goal again for the month of June. $25 from 75 people, and 75 people to give $25. And again, just like any and every other live video we do, we look to raise 10 super chats. They can be as low as 99 cents. All right. So if you got 99 cents, hit the goal, share it, and let's reach it. All right. But without any further ado, we still have some time here. So let's go ahead and get back into the fruits of the spirit, back to the basics. Let me see hashtag back to the basics in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Let me see that hashtag power with God in the chat. Right. Let me see that hashtag ready to go in the chat. Just see all that. Let me see all the hashtags, man. All right. All the hashtag back to the basics. You know what I'm saying? Hashtag ready to go. Right. And hashtag power with God. And remember, hashtag for the kids.
That's right.
Right. Hashtag for the kids. There's Christians, they keep Christmas for the kids. Right. We teach the Torah for the kids.
That's right.
Amen. All praises to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. So, excuse me. We shout out to you, Sister Princess Erica. She says it properly and very eloquently for the children. But yeah, man. So we left off on meekness, right? Let me get Galatians 5. We're gonna read Colossians 3 again, but like this time we're not gonna read, you know what I'm saying, the whole thing. We're just gonna read what we're supposed to, right? Brotherhood over breakdowns, hashtag World War III, no camp beef, right? Praise the Lord. Shout out, speak the truth in the building.
Of course, our beloved brother, speak the truth. Yahabashim Yashabakata. What the Water Fair Generous Donation continues support and keeping that $5 drive alive. Really appreciate you, family.
Khan, all praise to the Most High. Now we only need 8 more super chats, family. Let's get 8 more super chats before the live is over. I know we can do it, Khan. Right? Let's get 8 more super chats before the live is over by Hashem Yahawashi. We'll go ahead.
Khan, so Book of Galatians, chapter 5 and verse 22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law.
Against what?
Against such there is no law.
Right. So against such there is no law. These are things that are okay to have. And today we are continuing to focus on meekness. We are going to be focusing on meekness. Before we continue, real quick shout out to Brother Reginald Babu Shah.
Of course, to our beloved brother Reginald, Yahabashim Yashabakata, what the Water for your generous donation and continued support, the Water King.
Khan, all praise, honor, and glory. How about Shemi Al-Shai? Now, guess what? We only need 74 more people to give $25 and $25 from 74 more people. This is for the month of June. We getting caught up, folks. We getting caught up. So all praise to the Most High. And again, if you're watching this on the replay, hit the like button, share the video, leave a comment below. All right. And if it be on your heart, drop a super thanks. All right. So we're going to be focusing on meekness.
You sure we're not shadow banned right now?
Oh, no, I'm positive. We've definitely been doing a lot better in a lot of different ways.
Okay.
Praise the Lord. As far as analytics go, what was I gonna say? It's Colossians 3 and 8, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Khan.
It's the book of Colossians, chapter 3 and verse 8. But now ye also put off all these: anger, wrath, malice, blasphemy, filthy communication out of your mouth. Lie not one to another, seeing that ye have put off the old man with his deeds, and have put on the new man, which is renewed in knowledge after the image of him that created him, where there is neither Greek nor Jew, circumcision nor uncircumcision, barbarian, Scythian, bond nor free, but Christ is all and in all. Put on, therefore, as the elect of God, holy and beloved, bowels of mercy, kindness, humbleness of mind, meekness, long-suffering, forbearing one another, and forgiving one another. If any man have a quarrel against any, even as Christ forgave you, so also do ye.
Right. And just like last time, this is definitely something I'm going to emphasize again, right? That Paul commanded his church in Colossae to forgive each other the way Christ was willing to forgive us. And I made mention of the fact that Hamashiach Yahawashi, he had Judas in his camp, right? He had Judas in his camp very knowingly of what Judas was meant to do and what his purpose was for being there. You understand? And Christ still forgave him even in the act of knowingly that he was going to be betrayed by him, right? So the way that Christ is willing to forgive us, with the way that the Father is willing to forgive us, that is the context of be perfect as your Father in heaven is perfect. That is the context of that perfection that we are looking to reach. It has to do with forgiveness. It has to do with love. It has to do with kindness. It has to do with long suffering, all of which are fruits of the Spirit, right? Go ahead.
Con. Verse 14. And above all these things, put on charity, which is the bond of perfectness. And let the peace of God rule in your hearts, to the which also ye are called in one body, and be ye thankful. Let the word of Christ dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. And whatsoever ye do in word or deed, Do all in the name of the Lord Jesus, giving thanks to God and the Father by him.
Right. So everything we do in word and in deed, we see that Paul is encouraging the church of Colossae to do it in the name of the Lord Yahawashi, and when you're doing it, to give thanks to the Heavenly Father. You understand? So everything he just told them to do, he wants them to do it in the name of Yahawashi and be thankful toward the Heavenly Father for even giving us the ability to have these attributes and give them to one another. You understand? Again, shout out to everybody that's joining us, man. Hit that like button when you get in here. Hit that like button when you get in here. We had 35 likes. Let's look to see if we can reach 40 before we get out of here. What's the next one, Babu Shah?
Matthew 5 from the top.
Okay. Oh, wait. There we go.
It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
And seeing the multitudes, he went up into a mountain. And when he was set, his disciples came unto him. And he opened his mouth and taught them, saying, Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth.
Now, right, these are what's known as the Beatitudes, right? But notice, it's blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven, right? We have to understand the gospel, Isaiah 61, right? The things that are being replaced are mourning, etc., right? It says that people who are poor in spirit, that the kingdom of heaven belongs to them, right? Then it says they that mourn, it is guaranteed, they are promised to be comforted, right? Then we get to meek, right? The fruit of the spirit in which we're focusing on. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. We see that the kingdom of heaven, right, that's a dominion. So that's going to be ruling over the entire earth. So what really is the difference here? The kingdom of heaven brings a level of peace. Remember, Yahweh told us he would wipe away our tears, right? Whereas the meek, right, it says, for they shall inherit the earth. The meek are meant to be the rulers, right? Those are the just judges, right, that will be able to bring the earth to a balance, right? I'm sure among other things, right? Go ahead.
Con. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 6. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled.
So people that look to be righteous, and that is what they crave, Yahweh shall promise you will receive that if that is indeed your desire, right? Real quick, Salakia. Shout out J Dubs in the building, man. Shalom, brother. Yeah, it seems that YouTube is now using the handle for everybody, right? So whatever your @name is, that's what you're gonna appear as in the chat, right? So I don't know if you played World of Warcraft, but if you're a Dark Knight, then you know what I'm saying that's probably where that came from, right? Majan Israel. Oh, this brother Willie right here, I believe, right? 5 on it to ice. Sheesh. Right. Modern Israel said, why did he ask the Most High, why have you forsaken me, if he knew what was going to happen and he was about his father's will?
Brother, I'm telling you right now, you in that position, probably saying all kinds of stuff. I'm just saying, but go ahead, Rob.
There's still a level of I wish I was still human, bro.
Yeah, I'm telling you, full human. Man was struggling at that time. Let's just, to say the least. Sheesh.
Dang, you can tell that I'm not black. See that? It's supposed to be
twice. Yeah, I knew what you were saying there, brother Wood.
Wow. Dark Knight is Batman. Well,
Exactly.
you know what? He's white.
I don't know what he was. I never played WoW, so I don't know.
Wow. Why did he ask the Most High? Well, yeah, because he was still human, man. Right? He was still human, and you know that when you go through all of that, it's like, dang, you know.
I feel alone out here. I'm telling you, I can only imagine.
Salakia. Bakan, let's continue.
Okay, go ahead. It's the book of Matthew, chapter 5 and verse 7. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God.
Notice the different attributes in which each of these people have, right? And remember, peace is one of the fruits of the spirit. So imagine having the ability to be a peacemaker. You have so much peace within you, you can share it, right, with other people. You can disseminate it and fill their cups as well, right? Go ahead.
On verse 10. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven.
Mm-hmm.
Blessed are ye when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake.
So notice that these same people who are persecuted for the sake of righteousness, they also, the kingdom of heaven is also promised to them, the same way that it was promised to the poor in spirit. Right? Go ahead.
On verse 12. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you.
Right. Real quick, we got another question in the chat. All praise to the Most High.
Come
Speak the Truth says, Yahawanathan Ban Lawya. Right. Can you break down what kind of torment the spirit known as Legion will be through in Luke chapter 8, verse 26 to 36, and why?
She called you just back there murdering the baby.
Oh, you can still hear her?
Yeah.
Sheesh. Make sure that if there's any red letter, let's read this and see if we can, if the answer is within the text.
It's the book of Luke, chapter 8 and verse 26. And they arrived at the country of the Gardarians, which is over against Galilee. And when he went forth to land, there met him out of the city a certain man, which had devils long time, and wear no clothes, neither abode in any house, but in the tombs. When he saw Jesus, he cried out and fell down before him, and with a loud voice said, What have I to do with thee, Jesus, thou Son of God Most High? I beseech thee, torment me not. For he had commanded the unclean spirit to come out of the man. For oftentimes it had caught him, and he was kept bound with chains and in fetters. And he brake the bands and was driven of the devil into the wilderness. And when Jesus asked him, saying, What is thy name? And he said, Legion, because many devils were entered into him. And they besought him that he would not command them to go out into the deep. And there was an herd of many swine feeding on the mountain. And they besought him that he would suffer them to enter into them. And he suffered them. Then went the devils out of the man and entered into the swine. And the herd ran violently down a steep place into the lake and were choked. When they that fed them saw what was done, they fled and went and told it in the city and in the county of Salakia, and in the country. Then they went out to see what was done, and came to Jesus, and found the man, out of whom the devils were departed, sitting at the feet of Jesus, clothed and in his right mind. And they were afraid. They also which saw it told them by what means he that was possessed of the devils was healed. Then the whole multitude of the country of the
No, I think that was the last verse that he, I guess, wanted us to go to. Let me see. Oh, you reverse 37. It's right there. That's fine.
Then the whole multitude of the country of the Gadarenes round about besought him to depart from them, for they were taken with great fear. And he went up into the ship and returned back again.
Right. So focusing on the question, right? He says, "What kind of torment the spirit known as Legion?" Well, there was many spirits. It responded and said, "For we are many." So Legion is not just one spirit; it's actually a multitude of spirits and evil spirits at that. Why? And why? As far as the torment, it's been said, that there'll become a time where particular evil spirits will not have jobs anymore, right? Very similarly to when we read in Daniel, the 11th chapter, for example, right? Let me get that real fast, just to bring some. Let me get Daniel 11 in the NLT. Where's it at? Michael. No. Is it Daniel 11? Damn. Maybe it's the amplified version. Hold on. It uses a particular verbiage. The Spirit Prince. Oh, no. Yeah, Daniel 9. My bad. You're right. No, not Daniel 9. Daniel 10. Yeah, Daniel 10. Facts. I don't know why. There we go. Here we go. Daniel 10 and 21.
It's the book of Daniel, chapter 10 and verse 21 in the NLT. Meanwhile, I will tell you what is written in the book of truth. No one helps me against these spirit princes except Michael, your spirit prince.
So we see that Michael is identified as the spirit prince, particularly with Daniel in this case, right? I would argue Israel, because we see then in Daniel 12 it says that Michael would save Israel, right? But the point is to show that there's spirit princes. There's particular spirits that are assigned to you, if you will, right? Very similarly, we see in 1 Kings, the 22nd chapter, right, when the spirits on the right and the left-hand side are fighting for a job with the Most High God, right, and pitching particular jobs. Well, whoever wins the job, now you have to go and carry out that job, right? So we have spirits that are assigned to us, and when it comes to the point in which Israel will be righteous, right, for all intent and purposes, they won't have that job anymore, and that torment that has been said that they would receive is basically being that they won't have use, they won't be around, right? They would get rid of, be gotten rid of, basically, right? That was the main focus point, right? With the spirits, etc. So Legion is a multitude of spirits. As far as the torment that they would go through, there's going to come a point in time where Israel, we won't have evil spirits assigned to us anymore. Therefore, they would be out of a job. Therefore, they would be no use, and most likely would be eradicated or disposed of, if you will. Maja Israel says, is this a metaphor or Linda Blair demon possessions? I don't understand. I don't even know what that is.
I mean, yeah, Linda Blair demon possessions are definitely real. That is an actual thing. That's why there's a lot of people out there casting out demons out of people that are freaking out, vomiting black substances. I've seen those kinds of things or heard about those kinds of things in the churches that I grew up in, and saw people dealing with demon possession on high levels. Of course, there's your average run-of-the-mill demon possession. Best believe addiction is a form of demonic possession. Being hooked on, they got that nicotine demon out there. That's his job. They got the pork demon out there. That's his job. He's going to make you crave pork. You know what I'm saying? That's literally his job. And those demons can be, cast out. I would say easier or on a lower level. But I can't even say much necessarily easier, because I see these people in the Catholic Church and in Christianity, they're casting out all kinds of demons. Do they have the truth? No. Do they have the ability to cast out demons? Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And they're going to be running up to Christ come Judgment Day, talking about all the people all the demons they done cast out, while they ain't keeping NAM law. Like literally, there's no point in casting out all them demons if you ain't keeping the laws of God. None of that.
Scrolling back up here, Dwayne Scott says, wouldn't that be the destruction of, and continues, could it be that torment is the lake of fire in Revelation 20 and 10? I'm going to show you why no, that's not possible. Because, first of all, spirits, Satan is not going to be harmed by a nuclear war. Okay? Just very, very simply speaking, a carnal aspect isn't gonna, a terrestrial weapon isn't gonna harm a celestial being, right? That's my perspective, right? I don't see how that would even be remotely possible. Let me see if there's any red letter here. I don't think there's any red letter here, right? But Revelation 20, right, is very stacked, right? There's 3 different 1,000-year periods, and they're mentioned separately from each other, right? So let's read verse 7 real quick to 10.
It's the book of Revelation, chapter 20 and verse 7 in the NLT.
Uh-huh.
When the 1,000 years come to an end, Satan will be let out of his prison.
Satan will be let out of his prison, right? Now, the spiritual entity Satan, right? This is why people think that, there's the fallen angels, etc. He is not literally bound somewhere. His time to reign and do what he's supposed to do, it just hasn't come up yet. There's a physical people that were bound for 1,000 years. This is during the time frame of what's known as the Dark Ages, right? When there was black nobility and ultimately dealing with the subjection of Caucasian race, etc. That is who was bound for 1,000 years and then let out of his prison, right? So verse 7 would actually be correlated to verse 1 through 3, right? Because of verse 2, it says, he seized the dragon, that old serpent, who is the devil, Satan, and bound him. So verse 2 is when Satan is bound. Then verse 7 is when it said that he would be let loose, right? Keep going.
Verse 8. He will go out to deceive the nations.
He will what?
He will go out to deceive the nations.
So the spiritual entity Satan, his job is to go and deceive the nations, read.
Called Gog and Magog.
So Gog and Magog, we understand today, is the landmass or geographical locale known as Russia. Right, go ahead.
Gog, in every corner of the earth.
And in every corner of the earth. So not just them, but in every corner of the earth, Satan will go out to deceive these nations. So the spiritual entity Satan is raising up particular nations to be deceived. Right, go ahead.
He will gather them together for battle. a mighty army, as numberless as sand along the seashore.
And the purpose in which he's deceiving them is causing them to go to war. Right? Go ahead.
And I saw them as they went up on the broad plain of the earth, and surrounded God's people and the beloved city. But fire from heaven came down on the attacking armies and consumed them.
Right, so that's when Yahawashi and the angels, etc., fight against these people and they win. You can read more about that in 2nd Ezra 13, I think. Yeah. Go ahead.
Verse 10. Then the devil who had deceived them.
So remember, this same devil is the same one that was bound. Right? So this is talking about the people in which Satan was using, not the spiritual entity himself, but the people that he was using. The devil who had deceived them, read.
Then the devil who had deceived them was thrown into the fiery lake of burning sulfur, joining the beast and the false prophet. There they will be tormented day and night forever and ever.
Right. So this is the destruction in which the nations will receive, etc., not the spiritual entity itself. Right. In short, the devil here, right? Satan, as far as verse 2, verse 7, and verse 10. Verse 2 is more directly dealing with the bounding of the Roman Empire, etc., during the time of Septimius Severus, right? If anybody's familiar with Septimius Severus, you look at what his name actually means. It means to sever the seven, right? What has 7 heads? The dragon. What does the dragon represent around that time? Rome. You understand? So just very quick, no, Revelation chapter 20, verse 10 would not correlate to the torment that's mentioned in Luke, the 8th chapter for the Legion. 1 yes, 2 no. Is everybody following along and able to receive what has been said thus far? Is everybody following along and able to receive what has been said thus far? I was referring to the torment of the lake of fire. Yeah, the torment of the lake of fire, though, wouldn't apply to spiritual entities in Luke 8. Luke 8, those are spiritual entities. Legion, those are a multitude of evil spirits. Fire, in my perspective, wouldn't harm a spiritual entity. There's a cardinal, you know what I'm saying? I don't know anything about Linda Blair either. Oh, Yahawanathan's there?
Yep.
Yo, Shalom, Mark.
Yo, Shalom.
I think he's just trying to get clarification between Luke and Revelation 20.
He said, I'll just let it alone. If I misunderstood, feel free to clarify, please. Lord willing, you can try and reword it, Baba Kasha. I mean, if it was the fire of Yahweh, it's likely both physical and spiritual, hence why it burns forever, yeah. Babylon will be a memorial, yes, right?
I mean, there's plenty of places on earth right now that are burning forever, and they're not spiritual. So
yeah, the fire definitely never goes out.
Yeah, there's fires all over the earth right now that literally they just can't put out.
That's why it's interesting when you notice it always mentions sulfur or whatnot. These are things that can literally burn perpetually if hot enough. Shoot, there's technically places underwater that are on fire.
Yeah. Oh yeah. See all those islands pushing up out of the middle of the Pacific? Yeah, all that's coming from fire.
But yeah, Baba Shah, Brother Dwayne, If I misunderstood, please bring clarity to the question. In the meantime, shout out to everybody that's joining us. Make sure you hit that like button when you get in here. Hit that like button when you get in here. Join, renew, or upgrade your membership. Join us on Discord. Help out Chief Sister Princess Erica and family. Donate to the school. Subscribe to Hebrew Kids TV. You know what I'm saying? Subscribe to my channel. All praise to the Most High. We got a camp video coming real soon for y'all to tap in to, Lord willing. All praises. But our Khan, so that was it on Matthew 5?
Yeah, we read to 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's it. So we can go to Ephesians 4.
Oh, wow, that was completely misspelled. Ephesians 4 and what?
From the top.
Okay.
And it's the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
I, therefore, the prisoner of the Lord, beseech you that ye walk worthy of the vocation wherewith ye are called, with all lowliness and meekness, with long suffering, forbearing one another in love, endeavoring to keep the unity of the Spirit in the bond of peace.
So just right there alone, we have 1, 2, 3, 4. Lowliness, meekness, long suffering. Yeah. So wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we have 4 fruits of the Spirit working cohesively together. Remember, I think it was in Colossians where Paul said that love is the bond between these things, right? Roughly paraphrasing. What did he say? Hold on. Salakia. He says that charity, right, love is the bond of perfectness. So when we see these things working cohesively together, the fact that lowliness and meekness, long suffering, forbearing one another in love, right? I remember telling you guys last time how there are brothers and sisters who are literally intolerable, right? But the fact that we tolerate them is a demonstration of that lowliness and meekness. I remember going into a little bit in depth about the fact that the elders of Kwanda Ross, she continuously reminds us we don't have a luxury to get rid of one another, right? That's a luxury that Israelites really don't have. To create this level of division amongst ourselves. And I'm not talking about organizations and different banners, etc. That will always be there. Yeah, we're going to be one kingdom. You're still going to have different tribes, and then within those tribes have different clans, and we're each going to serve different purposes even in the kingdom of heaven, right? But even in that difference of vocation, right, we are doing it in unity, right? When things go wrong, people tend to separate and say, oh, well, I'm just not going to talk to that person ever again, etc. That is a luxury we need to not think we have. We are brothers and sisters. When something goes wrong, our goal should be to work it out and get past it. That should be the goal. Work it out and get past it. Because at the end of the day, who's going to have an Israelite's back? Right? The way another Israelite would. Only we can understand our struggles. That's why Yahawashi had to be made like unto his brethren. How he gonna argue on our behalf if he don't know half of what we go through? So we see here Paul is encouraging the church of Ephesus, right? He says, it says, beseech you that you walk worthy of the vocation that you were called to. When we're given our jobs and we're given our talents, etc., we need to make sure that we walk in all worthiness of those vocations. I was telling you guys last time that each of us have a different purpose, right? And I'm thankful to the Most High that we have the ability to, fulfill these different things over here with Servants of Yahweh Ministries Inc., Miami T.R.A.P stars, giving both brothers, sisters, grandmas, aunties, children the ability to really work out those vocations, right? Because if you look at the historicity of us coming into the knowledge of who we are, right? Each of them was always an upgrade. Each of them was always an upgrade. As far as the camps are going to continue to do what they're doing, right? But children can't stand on the line. Women can't stand on the line. What are they going to do? We have to do something about that. I can't count the amount of times where women have either come up to me or I've overheard conversations, or even my wife may have been telling me about another sister or even herself of, where do I fit in? Women have jobs to do that if all we have is a camp, they can't do it. There's ministries that need to be held. We see Paul continue. Paul has mentioned women that have shared the gospel with him just as much and worked just as much as he did. And he encourages and praises them for the hard work that they put in. If all we have is a camp, where are the women and children fitting in at? That means that now the job they're supposed to do is not getting done. This is another thing I just saw. I was at the park, and there was a Christian church because they rent like a little suite at the park in their rec center, if you will, right? And the men, they brought out some stuff, etc. But you want to know who was tasked with the actual cleaning and the gathering of the materials, making sure everything was there? The women and the children. Women are some of the most organized people when done properly. Mm-hmm. You understand? And what is their job? To teach the children. You understand? Time and time again, we see of antiquity, we see women that was walking miles with stuff on their heads, in their hands, and they had their children with them, and they're teaching their child how to do it. Right? So this is how we endeavor to keep the unity of the spirit in the bond of peace, right? Understanding as men, women, children, aunties, uncles, grandmas, etc., we all play a role, and we need to begin exercising this role so we can walk worthy of the vocation. Each of you were called to do something. Yes, keep the laws, right? Within keeping those laws, you were given talents. Let's not bury them. We want you to bring your talents here, right? Servants of Yahweh Ministries Inc. Is not just a camp, right? This, by the Spirit, grace, power, strength, and mercy of the Most High God, will be an organization that men, women, children, aunties, uncles, grandmas will find a home at, right? And really feel and be a part of, right, what we see in the Bible. Okay? Playing that role, and again, endeavoring to keep the unity in spirit of the spirit in the bond of peace. Salaki, was that it, or is there more to read?
No, there's more. Not much more. It's the book of Ephesians, chapter 4 and verse 3. Endeavoring to keep the unity of the spirit in the bond of peace. There is one body and one spirit, even as ye are called in one hope of your calling, one Lord, one faith, one baptism, one God and Father of all, who is above all, and through all, and in you all. That was it.
That was it?
Khan,
all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shem Yahshua. Shout out to everybody joining us again, whether you coming in late or not. Shout out to everybody just joining us, man. Hit that like button when you get in here. Hit that like button when you get in here. We are now at 39 likes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's get that one more like. Let's get to 40 before we get out of here, man. Slack you for being late. It's all right, man. Keep that membership, and you ain't never got to apologize. All right, all praise to the Most High God, man. It is 8:55, so we're gonna begin wrapping up here. All praise Yahawanathan Ban Lawya, man. But real quick, man, drop a 3 in the chat if you were edified in any way, shape, or form this evening. Drop a 3 in the chat if you were edified in any way, shape, or form this evening. Need push-ups, facts. JK, that's a member. We don't give members push-ups.
Right.
You understand? Make sure you guys like and share the video, man. When you hit the like button, share the video too. Feel me? Why you dropped the 8?
Bro, trust me. My brain just literally stopped working for a second there.
That's crazy. This thing. Well,
kind of looks like a 3.
Yeah. It's half.
You see?
But all praise, honor, and glory to Yahawanathan. I definitely appreciate y'all, man. We love y'all. All right. Now let's spam the prayer hand emojis in the chat. Baba Kashawat the water. Let's spam the prayer hand emojis in the chat. Baba Kashawat the water. We are praying for our people, praying for our land, and we are praying for our people. We are praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, financial health with stability. And of course, we do so by Shema Mashiach Yahawashi, praying for our land and praying for our people. Praying for our people and praying for our land. Starting off with Zaquan Raphael, Zaquan Dabora, Zaquan Deshawn, Zaquan Brother Douglas, Zaquan Yapaja, Brother Willie, Sister Edna, Chief Sister Tanya and family, her sons Cameron and Dewan, Chief Sister Princess Erica and family. Again, if you would like to help out Chief Sister Princess Erica and family during their rough time, you can do so by donating via GoFundMe with that link that is now in the chat. All right, all praise Yahawanathan Ban Lawya. Continuing here with the prayer list, Chief Sister Princess Erica and family, her brother Tazama, her brother Eric, her son Jalen, and her daughter Sister Holly, Chief Sister Teresa, Chief Sister Shalimar, Sister Dione Israel, Sister Dione Israel's son Jaden, and her son Angel with his wife Anna, Sister Perez, Sister Althea, Brother Yawasap, Brother Iwad, Chief Sister Melina, Sister Laela, Brother Joseph, Sister Katana, Brother Ahmataza Lab, Yahawanathan Ban, Tribe of Issachar, Brother Hazaz's mother, myself, Ayara Tawash, Gamaria, Mayak Allah, Sister Tati, any and every Israelite spread to the four corners of the earth, Elder Priest Zabak, Chief Priest Ahmataza Ban Lawya, Sister Masala, Brother Hayaman, Ainad, Dakar, Isaiah, Raquam, Dagar, Yaquab, Nagai, Namar, and his mother Edith, Fabawan and son Nathan, Zaram, Aliyah, Tazayar, Kashab, Abayar, Rakawam, Alazabad, Aishaya, Sergeant Yatab, Brother Shapacha and his daughter Ariana, Shariyan, Ashdath, Ali Adad, Hosea Israel, Tazawar Ali, Yakal, a warrior Allah, formerly known as Tazaparan, Brother Ali Shai's family, Alan Cupid, Horace Cupid, Amariah, Gizmo, Kapayar, Majan Israel and family, Sister Mayatazak and family, Sister Nayana and family, Brother Joe, Sister Kayla Duckworth, Brother Dwayne Scott, Vincent, Tazar, Zayan Rakad, Jaden, Kylan, Nakwai, Brother Mayesha Alu Rib family, Brother Ariella, Sister Michaela, Mariah, Sister Tiara, also known as Feed Me Righteously in the chat, and family, Brother Ahaziah, Kwarabia, Kanaya Allah, Sister Clarissa, Brother Lamo Allah, Gazar, Gazah, and his daughter Ayani, Tonio, J Dubs and family, Jonathan Montek, King Couture, Quatazab, Shasha Wan, Papa and family, Tazia's son Caden and daughter Sage, Brandon Green and Ayer Green, Deshaun Robertson, Hosea Israel's mother Elizabeth, Brother Jay's mother Iris, Brother Christian Navarro, Brother Yadi. Remember, these are households to any extended Israelite family. All right, to the four corners of the earth. And last, certainly not least, the land of Israel itself, from the Nile to the Euphrates, from the Euphrates to the Nile, praying for our people, praying for our land, praying for our land and praying for our people, praying for physical, mental, spiritual, emotional, agricultural, financial health with stability. And we do so by Hashem Hamashiach Yahawashi. quick question from our chief sister, Princess Tanya.
Mhm.
Can we use vegetable oil to cook with? I use avocado oil. Just asking. That is definitely a question from Ahmataza.
Yeah, I wouldn't even put avocado oil in the same category as vegetable oil. Avocado oil is safe and healthy for your body. Vegetable oil will literally kill you. Stay away from vegetable oil as much as humanly possible. I understand that some of your favorite, chicken places, Popeyes, KFC, churches, they all may use Bojangles. They may all use vegetable oil, but that's not stuff that you should be eating on a regular basis. That's stuff that I would eat once, maybe twice in a year. I might have a piece of Popeye's fried chicken. And so that would be close to, the most vegetable oil I would be putting in my body. But as far as what you eat on a regular basis, what you cook in your own house, I recommend that you don't even have vegetable oil in your house. Avocado oil is great. Coconut oil is great. To me, the best is absolutely just the oil that I use every day. I literally just use some
Virgin olive oil.
virgin olive oil. I don't know. My brain's just not working right now. But yeah, avocado, coconut, virgin olive oil. Hell, even some peanut oil. But vegetable oil, definitely stay away from that. Yeah, all that grape seed, stay away from it. I recommend staying away from it's not grape seed, it's the other word. Yeah,
Right.
I don't want to say it on YouTube.
The one without the G.
The one without the G. That's the one you want to stay away from.
The little ones, not the big one. All praises to the Most High God, man. All praise to the Most High God. Now YouTube changed everything back. Yeah, see, that definitely wasn't me. That's interesting.
Yeah, all of a sudden it changed back. Crazy out here.
At least we can identify you guys now. All right, you were unidentifiables for a
I
minute.
could tell through the spirit, through their texting patterns. You could tell who's who.
Yeah, that's true. Right, all praise, honor, glory to Yahweh Shem Yahweh. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys. All right, remember, we did reach the goal for May. We are now looking toward reaching the goal for June, ladies and gentlemen. We are now looking toward reaching the goal for June. We need 74 people to give $25 and $25 from 74 people to get caught up with the month of June. Baba Gosha, Wata Wata. All right, share the links with people. Join our Discord. The Discord has been cracking even more. And of course, because you're in there, you get visuals, and you get a lot of stuff in there, man. You get to communicate, congregate virtually with your brothers and sisters. And again, soon enough, maybe the Lord's will, we're going to open up different channels in there for brothers and sisters to really get to know each other. And then also, if you're watching this on the replay, man, hit that like button, share the video, drop a super thanks, praise Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai. But let's go ahead and spam the wolf emojis in the chat for our chief sister Melina. Where's she at in the chat, man? Chief sister Melina, drop some wolves in the chat. Show us where you at. You feel me? All praise to the Most High. Putting in that hard work over there, Hebrew Kids TV. All right. All praise Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shai.
So she told Abram to have a child with her maid, and he did. And when Hagar conceived,
it 100% looks like moms and pops.
Sarai told Abram, and Abram told her to treat her as she wants. So Sarai treated her harshly.
She's like
a maid fled away.
Animation app, basically. Yeah.
Then the angel of the Lord came to Hagar, asking, "Why did you flee?" She responded, "I ran from my mistress Sarai."
Like a
and
flip
the angel told her,
that's cool.
"Return and submit to Sarai. Your seed shall be multiplied and not be numbered for multitude. You shall have a son, and his name shall be Ishmael, because God heard your affliction. He will be a wild man, dwelling in the presence of his brethren." So Abram had his son Ishmael from Hagar. Abram was 99 years old, and God appeared to him and said, "You will be a father to many nations, so I will change your name from Abram to Abraham, and I will establish my covenant with you and your seeds for generations, for an everlasting covenant, to be a God unto you and your seed. You shall keep my covenant, you and your seed, and so forth. Every man shall be circumcised. Sarai's name shall now be Sarah.
Chief Sister Princess Erica kind of going off. Can't hear you, Rob.
We praising the children of Rachel right now, not the children of Leah.
Right.
All right. Leah's children bring despair. Okay? Not the men. I mean, not the women so much as the men. We love the women. Okay? Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Oh, praise Yahweh, man. But big shout out to everybody, man. We definitely appreciate you guys. We're going to keep it going. Bashim Mashiach Yahweh. See, we got Rob made those ugly Judah emojis.
I always thought they looked kind of funny. I'm like, what's going on with it?
Was there intent behind that? Who knows? Was it the envy of Ephraim against Judah? Only time will tell. But yeah, man, all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemi outside. Appreciate you guys. Love you guys. Whoa.
Yeah, I don't even know what the woe is about, but pretty sure. Yeah.
Listen, man, all praises, man. But yeah, man, that's pretty much it for me. Again, I give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh Shemi Awashai. All right, definitely love and appreciate each and every one of y'all putting in the brick. Let's keep doing this. All right, keeping it up. Let me see the hashtags in the chat. You already know hashtag back to the basics, hashtag for the kids, hashtag power with God, hashtag ready to go. That was the one I really liked. Hashtag ready to go. Like, nigga, ain't nobody packing. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get out of here, guys. All right. We're ready to get out of here, man. Hashtag ready to go.
I'm down.
Right. But without any further ado, again, man, praise the Lord. May the Lord bless thee, keep thee, shine his face upon thee, and give us peace. By Hashem Mashiach Yahawashi. Until next time, shalom.
All right, brothers and sisters. As always, it's an absolute honor, a privilege, and a pleasure to be gathered here together tonight in the name of the Most High God, Yahweh, because that's why we're here, because we love our God. We love his law, statutes, and commandments. We love everything that comes along with serving him. We love his judgments. And it's an absolute honor to be in service to you Israelites out there, you so-called blacks, Hispanics, Latinos, Native Americans, and Seminole Indians. We are the Israelites that the Bible speaks of, God's chosen people. It's high time we return to the Father, keep all of his law, statutes, and commandments, which includes faith in our Lord and Savior, Hamashiach Yahawashi, who the world calls Jesus Christ. And with that, we'll say, Call Halal Yahweh Bahashem Yahawashi, and say Shalom. Ahmataza, Israel. Love y'all.
thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe now. All praises to the Most High.